Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Have You Heard? My name's Richard and today we are listening to a new band on the channel, but they're a wonderful band. It's the Smiths and we are going to be listening to Shoplifters of the World Unite, and it's featured on this compilation album called Louder Than Bombs. Now, the Smiths only made 4 studio albums in their 4-year-old career, but they also issued at least 3 compilations: Hatful of Hollow, Louder Than Bombs, and The World Won't Listen. And those were all full of singles, B-sides to singles, recordings made for radio shows. A few of them overlapped onto different compilations, but they're all worth getting because, well, it's kind of like the history of the Smiths, and they're even more interesting than the studio albums a lot of the time. I hope that's not being too controversial, but yeah, they were a wonderful band. The preeminent indie band in the UK, only going from 83 to 87, but their legacy lives on. And they deserve to be on the channel. So let's leave it like that. If you're new to the channel and you're a Smiths fan, welcome. As I say, it's the first time we've done them, but we've got 180 odd videos on playlists below that you might want to have a look around and see if there's anything there that takes your eye. And if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. That would be really, really helpful. But let's listen first of all to the song. It's only about 3 minutes long, as most Smith songs were, 3 minutes or so. But it's incredible. And we'll talk a bit more about them afterwards. So here we go. Released in January 1987 as a single. It got to number 12 in the UK charts. Shoplifters of the World Unite.
Learn to love me, assemble the ways. Now, today, tomorrow, and always. My only weakness is a list of crime. My only weakness is, well, never mind, never mind. Shoplifters of the world, unite and take over. Shoplifters of the world, hand it over, hand it over, hand it over. Learn to love me and assemble the ways. Now, today, tomorrow, and always. My only weakness is a listed crime. But last night the plans for a future war was all I saw on Channel 4. Shoplifters of the world, unite and take over. Shoplifters of the world, hand it over, hand it over, hand it over. Hand on my shoulder, pushing it sober. Alabaster flashes down. 6 months is a long time. Try living the real world instead of a shell. But before I began, I was bored before I even began. Shoplifters Shoplifters of the world, unite and take over. Shoplifters of the world, unite and take over. Shoplifters of the world, unite and take over. Shoplifters of the world, take over.
Stop. It's not going, is it? Oh, I'm having trouble with Spotify today. No, it stopped, thank goodness. Technical issues abound today, I'm afraid, but we made it. I was living on the other side of the world while the Smiths were reigning supreme in the UK between 83 and 87. I was in South Africa, and I just moved to Johannesburg at the end of 86, beginning of 87, and I came across the vinyl version of The World Won't Listen, which is one of those compilations I mentioned, quite by accident. And it was given to me as a kind of a gift, and I played it. I'd read about the Smiths, but I had no idea what the music was like, and I was fascinated, absolutely fascinated. This was something really different. This was a singer with an original voice, singing lyrics that were very Northern England related, often quite miserable, certainly somber at times, but with a wicked sense of humour. And all of that was couched in these most gorgeous guitar arrangements. One guy, Johnny Marr, so the singer was Morrissey, Stephen Morrissey, he called himself Morrissey. The guitarist was Johnny Marr, and it was all held together by a rock solid rhythm section of Andy Rourke on bass and Mike Joyce on drums. But the whole essence of the band really was the tension, if you like, between Morrissey and Marr, between the lyrics and the music, and eventually the personalities of the two of them. But I knew nothing of that, and I would know nothing of that really until I started reading up on them, gosh, almost 20 years later when I came back to the UK. By that time, I had just got to know their music and loved it, but I did know that the band had split in not very nice circumstances, and that's a whole big story for another day. What I really want to do today is just listen to the music and talk about how it is. It gets into your soul. I can't listen to the Smiths at any time. Not one of those bands you can just put on in the background and go, oh yes, that's nice, and do other stuff. You've got to sit down, be in the mood, and then listen to these lyrics and just take in the arrangements of the songs. And as I say, they can be 2.5 minutes long. Some of them can sound like absolute nonsense until you start thinking a little bit about the lyrics and what they could mean, and then factor into account the sort of the deadpan Northern English humour that one only finds in that part of the world. People don't always get it, but sometimes it doesn't matter if the music is beautiful, and this music is absolutely beautiful. I would love to do more Smiths songs. It's very difficult to say that word too often, but I'm interested to hear what kind of, or see what kind of response the video draws from our subscribers and any potential new subscribers. I'm keen to hear what you all think of it. Do you like the Smiths? Are you into indie music from the 80s? There's lots of different wonderful bands doing different styles of indie music, but this was almost unique. There was nobody else doing writing songs and playing songs quite like these four guys. And they have a place in British music history. They are revered, particularly Johnny Marr, because he's not quite as controversial as Morrissey. And he was on a TV quiz panel show a year or two back. And it was quite amazing to see the reverence that everybody else, these fast talking, jokey comedians, were just sort of sitting back in awe, saying, "Oh, the great Johnny Marr says this, the great Johnny Marr says that." He's such a self-deprecating, humble kind of a guy, but he's one of the best guitarists that the UK have ever produced, and he's still making music to this day. Morrissey is more controversial. You either agree with him or you don't. He's prone to come out with newsworthy opinions, very controversial, and yeah, polarizing, I think, is a good word. Polarizing personality. But there's no doubt that this is poetry that he wrote. And I'm not even going to try to explain what these lyrics are all about, except that the shoplifters part isn't necessarily people who run into corner stores and steal cans of baked beans. He's talking more of people who take things maybe from others but use it to their advantage. So cultural shoplifting or spiritual shoplifting, whatever. It's a much broader concept than just the plain stealing things from stores. But they're well worth looking into. And online, there are pages and pages and pages of discussion of all the various Smiths songs, because they're all worthy of investigation. So there we are. It's our first Smiths video. I hope it'll be the first of many. And I'm now really keen to hear what our listeners, viewers, and subscribers all think about this. Please put some comments down below. Tell me what your opinions are. Do you like these guys? Would you like to hear more songs from them? Which songs would you like to hear? Please let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Have You Heard, which will be out pretty soon, within a day or so at the very latest. Cheers, everybody.